You've been doing what you thought was right. A little salad here. A green smoothie there. Trying to do what the world told you to do, eat clean, stay lean, live longer. But let me hit you with a truth nobody talks about. There are 3 vegetables, yep, the same ones sitting in your fridge right now, that are quietly draining your testosterone. Not overnight. Not in a dramatic way. But slowly. Day by day. Just enough to make you feel a little off. You know what I mean. You wake up, and something just isn't the same. That fire in your chest. Dimmed. That morning energy. Gone. That spark with your wife. Well, you've been blaming age, right? But what if it's not age at all? What if it's the spinach you keep throwing into your eggs every morning? Or that broccoli you steam because your doctor said it's good for you? Sounds crazy. I thought so too, until the studies started stacking up. Until patient after patient walked into my clinic with the same story. Doc, I'm eating right, but I feel weak, tired, and soft. What's going on? And when we dug deeper. Boom. The same culprits showed up every time. Look. If you're a man over 60 and you're still eating these vegetables without knowing the damage they're doing, then brother, you're walking into the doctor's office with a limp. And I don't just mean your legs. I mean your confidence. Your energy. Your manhood. Collision, this isn't just about food. This is about you taking back control. Because nobody told you the truth before. But now you know, and that changes everything. Backhand index pointing right. If you care even a little about staying strong, hard, and energized, not just for yourself, but for your wife, your kids, your legacy, then it's time to open your eyes. Hit that subscribe button. Because what I'm about to show you could change your mornings, your nights, and your life. I'm Dr. Ethan Mehran, certified urologist. 28 years. 28 years of listening to men come into my office, shoulders slumped, voices low, eyes tired. Men who used to run businesses, chase their wives around the bedroom, take pride in who they were, now whispering to me like it's some shameful secret, "Doc, it's not working anymore." But here's what I tell them, every time, without fail. It's not your age. It's not your genes. It's not some cruel twist of fate. It's your fork. You can't out-supplement, out-medicate, or outwish a poor diet. Especially not when you're unknowingly putting poison on your plate 3 times a day. And the worst part? These so-called health foods, the ones you've been told your whole life were good for you, are quietly, slowly, choking the very thing that makes you feel like a man. These 3 vegetables. They're not just bland side dishes. They're silent testosterone assassins. And no one warned you. Not your doctor. Not the magazines. Not the wellness bloggers with their green smoothies. Why? Because there's no money in telling you the truth. But let me tell you what I've seen, firsthand. I've had 67-year-old men walk into my clinic barely able to look me in the eye. And 4 weeks later, they're smiling, shaking my hand like the man they used to be. And all we did, was take out those 3 veggies, and feed their hormones like they mattered again. Because they do. You do. This isn't about vanity. This is about energy. Dignity. And yes, intimacy. The kind of confidence that comes from waking up and knowing your body still shows up for you. If you're a man over 60, and that morning salute has turned into a silent nod, like your 401k back in '08, you need to hear what's coming next. Type "I'm in the comments. Say it loud, like a man ready to take back control. And if you're too proud to admit something's off, type "not me." But don't flinch when other men call you out. Because the ones who do speak up, they're the ones who sleep better, stand taller, and smile wider. Let's be real. If clicking subscribe feels like too much commitment for you, then ask yourself this. How's that working out for your energy? Your relationship? Your nights? You ever meet someone who looks like the picture of health, but behind the scenes, everything's falling apart? That was Don. 63. Retired military. He jogged every morning at 5:30 sharp. Ate clean. Drank those bright green smoothies with kale, spinach, maybe a banana if he was feeling fancy. On paper, this guy was a model citizen of healthy living. But when he sat in my office, he didn't feel like a man anymore. His words, not mine. He leaned in and whispered, like he was ashamed of his own voice. "Doc, it's like the fire's gone out. No desire. No drive. My wife thinks it's her, but I just don't feel anything anymore." And I could see it. His body was in motion, but his manhood? On life support. So we ran tests. Not one. Not two. A full panel. And what we found was shocking. His testosterone levels were barely hovering above clinical deficiency. His thyroid hormones? Suppressed. And this was a man who never missed his supplements, never skipped sleep, never touched fast food. So what was killing his drive? Raw kale. Yeah, that superfood everyone's preaching about. The one they say makes you clean and detoxed. It's loaded, absolutely packed, with compounds called goitrogens. These nasty little disruptors interfere with your thyroid gland. And once your thyroid slows down, your testosterone goes with it. Like a chain reaction. That green smoothie he sipped every morning like gospel. It was slowly flattening his hormones. He looked like a champion on the outside, trim, glowing skin, the kind of guy you'd want to be at 63. But inside? His hormones were flatlining like a dead heart monitor. No signal. No spark. No strength. And here's the worst part. He had no idea. He thought he was doing everything right. You might be doing the same thing right now. That super clean salad you had for lunch. That raw kale your wife blends into your juice every morning because she saw it on Dr. Oz. It might be the very thing that's draining the life out of your manhood. Don didn't need a pill. He didn't need testosterone shots. He needed to get that kale out of his diet, and once we did, the fire came back. It didn't take a miracle. Just one change. One truth nobody ever told him. Now, ask yourself. What's hiding in your kitchen, slowly turning you into a shell of the man you used to be? Because raw kale isn't the only culprit. And what I'm about to reveal next. It's even more common, and twice as destructive. Vegetable #2, canned corn. Now don't roll your eyes, I know, it sounds harmless. Sweet. Familiar. Heck, you've probably been eating it since you were a kid, right? Let me tell you about Mike. Mike's a retired Marine. 65. Tough as nails. Used to wake up at 5 a.m. without an alarm, hit the gym, and finish off his day with a plate of microwaved corn and roast chicken. He said it made him feel young. Clean. Balanced. But here's what Mike didn't know. Canned corn is one of those sneaky foods that's quietly wrecking your hormones from the inside out. Why? Because most canned foods, especially corn, are packaged in containers lined with BPA. That's bisphenol A, a synthetic estrogen. Yeah. Estrogen. The very thing your body has been fighting since you turned 50. And it doesn't stop there. That sweet taste. That's not just natural corn starch, most of these cans are loaded with added sugar, extra starch, and preservatives you can't even pronounce. You think that stuff just passes through? No. It clogs up your insulin system, slows your metabolism, and flips a biological switch that turns testosterone into estrogen. Now instead of lean muscle, you're storing belly fat. Instead of waking up energized, you're dragging yourself out of bed like you ran a marathon in your sleep. Instead of feeling like a man, you're wondering why your sex drive's vanished, why your gut won't go down, why you're snapping at people you love, for no damn reason. Mike said, "Doc, I don't feel like me anymore." He wasn't depressed. He wasn't broken. He wasn't old. He was just being slowly poisoned, by something as innocent-looking as a can of corn. And here's the kicker, when we cut it out and cleaned up his diet. 2 weeks. That's all it took. His sleep came back. His morning stiffness wasn't just in his knees anymore. And the fog that had been sitting in his head for years? It finally lifted. So yeah, it's just corn. Until it's not. And if you're still eating this crap, still nuking that yellow mush because it's easy, or cheap, and still wondering where your drive, your power, your mojo went. Let me be real with you. Either you subscribe now and start taking your health seriously. Or you're lying to yourself. You can say it's age. You can blame stress. You can even convince yourself it's just what happens. But deep down, you know better. Your body's been crying out for help. It's time to listen. Because the longer you keep doing nothing, the louder the silence becomes at night. And that voice that whispers, "Is this it?" It only gets stronger. Vegetable number 3, raw spinach. Now, let's talk about the third so-called superfood you've probably been tossing into your smoothies thinking you're doing something great for your body, raw spinach. I know. You've heard it 1,000 times, eat your greens. You watched Popeye growing up. Dude eats spinach, and boom, he's lifting cars, fighting bad guys, getting the girl. But here's the reality. If Popeye had eaten his spinach raw every day, he wouldn't be flexing his biceps. He'd be sitting in the doctor's office wondering why his testosterone tanked, why his energy crashed by 2 p.m., and why his bedroom confidence disappeared like smoke. Let me break this down for you like I would to one of my patients. Spinach, when eaten raw, is loaded with something called oxalates. Now, these aren't just fancy science words. These little guys bind to zinc in your body. And zinc? Zinc is mission critical for testosterone. You ever notice you feel more off after a week of healthy smoothies? More bloated, more tired, maybe even a little more snappy or withdrawn. It might not be your age. It might be your salad. Because when oxalates block zinc, your body can't make the testosterone it needs. And when your testosterone drops, you're not just feeling tired, you're feeling like less of yourself. No drive. No focus. You're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. You're snapping at your spouse because you feel off but don't know why. It creeps up slowly. One day, you're chasing your grandkids around the yard. Next thing you know, you're reaching for the rail every time you go up the stairs. And at night, your body feels like it's betraying you. But here's the twist most guys never hear. Spinach isn't bad. Raw spinach is. You see, when you cook spinach, steam it lightly or sauté it, you break down those oxalates. And suddenly, it goes from being a testosterone trap, to a hormone hero. Now think about this. How many healthy choices have you made, just like this, that are actually holding you back? How many times have you loaded up your plate with what the TV doctors told you was good, only to find yourself gaining belly fat, losing your edge, and wondering what the hell happened? You don't have to wonder anymore. This isn't your fault, no one told you the rules had changed. But now that you know, you've got a decision to make. You can keep chugging those raw green smoothies and pretending everything's fine. Or you can finally start eating like a man who understands what his body actually needs. I've seen too many guys, strong, smart, capable men, silently struggling, thinking it was just old age. But aging doesn't mean shrinking. It doesn't mean fading. It doesn't mean losing your fire. It just means you need better tools. Smarter choices. Real answers. And this? This is one of them. So next time you reach for that handful of raw spinach, pause. Throw it in a pan. Steam it. Let it work for you, not against you. Because if you've made it this far into this video, I know one thing about you. You give a damn. And that's more than most. Let's keep going, there's more you need to know. Because after spinach, there's one surprising habit even more dangerous than any vegetable. And chances are, you're doing it every single morning. Stay with me. Now, let's flip the script. You've seen what not to eat, the silent saboteurs wrecking your energy, your mood, and your manhood. But now, let's talk winners. The foods that fight back. The vegetables that don't just sit there looking green and innocent, they go to war for your hormones. Let's start with a blood-pumping legend. Hero veg number 1, beets. Yeah, you heard me right. Not beet chips. Not sugar-loaded beet juice from the store. I'm talking real, whole beets. Steamed. Roasted. Blended. Because what beets do inside your body? They open the pipes. Beets increase nitric oxide, a natural compound your body produces to relax blood vessels and improve circulation. Better blood flow. You already know what that means. Stronger, longer-lasting erections. More oxygen to your brain. More stamina on that walk with your wife. And yes, even fewer bathroom runs at 2 a.m. It's like opening the pipes after a winter freeze. That's what one guy told me after adding beets to his daily routine. And listen, it didn't take a miracle. It took 10 minutes in the oven and a choice to show up for himself. You want better blood flow without blue pills? Start with beets. Hero veg number 2, broccoli sprouts. Not regular broccoli, we'll get to that in a second. I'm talking about the sprouts. Tiny, mighty, bitter little things you've probably walked past 100 times at the grocery store. But inside those baby greens? Sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is a natural compound that does something your body desperately needs after 60, it helps detox estrogen. Yeah. Estrogen. You might not want to hear it, but as testosterone drops with age, estrogen tries to take over. And if you're not flushing that stuff out, you start feeling foggy. Soft. Emotional. Fatigued. Like a passenger in your own body. Broccoli sprouts are the answer. They tell your liver, let's clean house. More testosterone, less estrogen. More control, less confusion. More you, less of what aging has been trying to turn you into. And here's the kicker, sulforaphane also boosts cellular protection. Meaning your body doesn't just feel better, it fights off disease better too. All that? In a mouthful of sprouts. Hero veg number 3, white mushrooms. You've seen M in salads. You've pushed M to the side of your plate. You've probably never thought twice about M. But white mushrooms? They're aromatase blockers. Let me explain. Aromatase is an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. Yeah. You read that right. Your own body has a little gremlin running around stealing your testosterone and turning it into something that makes you feel weak, tired, and emotionally out of balance. Mushrooms tell that gremlin to sit down and shut up. They block aromatase, so your testosterone gets to stay testosterone. No rerouting. No drain. No loss of power. And here's the beauty of it. They're cheap. Easy to cook. Add them to a stir-fry, a soup, or even an omelette. They don't shout. They don't flash. They just work. Mushrooms are the quiet warriors in your kitchen. And at your age, quiet power is exactly what you need. Now let me hit you with some truth. You've heard me spell it out. The dangerous veggies. The hormone thieves. The kitchen villains posing as health food. And the heroes, the vegetables that build your strength, fire up your blood, and give your testosterone the backup it's been begging for. So now what? If you don't hit that subscribe button by now, I can only assume one thing. Either you're too lazy to care, or you've accepted weakness as your default setting. So which is it? Because at your age, time's not slowing down. You're either building your fire back up, or letting it go cold, one microwave meal at a time. Choose your vegetables, and choose your future. Now, if you've stuck with me this far, I've got something special for you. A bonus. A quiet champion that almost no one talks about, but it might just be the secret sauce your body's been starving for. Gemstone boron. Yeah, I know, doesn't sound fancy. Doesn't sound like something you'd find in a health magazine headline. But listen closely. Boron doesn't boost testosterone directly. What it does, is free it. See, most men over 60. Their testosterone isn't gone. It's just, locked up. Shackled. Trapped in a prison called SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. The more SHBG you've got floating around, the less testosterone is free to do its job, like giving you energy, drive, and performance. And boron? Boron lowers SHBG. It's like slipping the key into the jail cell, and saying, let the man out. Where do you find it? Not in some overpriced powder or shady supplement. Nope, it's right in your pantry. Prunes. Raisins. Avocados. That's it. That's the magic. Old school food. Big school results. So next time you reach for a snack, forget the cookies. Grab a handful of raisins, or a few slices of avocado on toast. Your hormones will thank you, and your partner might too. Let me close with something real. Remember Mike? The ex-Marine. Retired at 65. Eating canned corn with every microwave meal. Well, 3 months after ditching that garbage and switching to cooked mushrooms, roasted beets, and boron-rich snacks. He called me up and said, Doc. I don't need Viagra. I need a helmet. I laughed. But deep down, I was proud. Not because of the joke, but because of the transformation. He took action. He stopped sleepwalking through his 60s, and decided to show up for his life again. And that's what I want for you. I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to wake you up. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It doesn't mean less energy, less drive, or less manhood. It can mean clarity, power, wisdom, and, most of all, freedom. But only if you choose to fight. And this channel is your weapon. So if you're a man over 60 and you're sick of being ignored, tired, and less, then this is the place where you flip the script. Hit that subscribe button. Because if you're still watching and you haven't clicked it yet, go ahead and drop a comment saying, I like feeling weak. Go on. Type it out. Because otherwise, there's no excuse. Your life, your strength, your fire. It's still there. You just have to stop giving it away.